Howdy, I'm Sprite XP, and this is the first episode of Plant News, a news show where I talk about stuff that happens over the course of a month. Also, if you're wondering, this will not replace Soul 11 Pro Reviews, now known as the Treasure Cove. I want a second show to go along with the channel. As it turns out, there was a Roblox data breach that happened last month, in which someone uses a remote access Trojan on a former Roblox employee to steal data from the server and retrieve the documents. The documents are accessible by going to breach.com. Currently, 6 large YouTubers have already talked about the leak, though there's a chance that a few of them mentioned the website and their audience proceeds to download all of the files associated with the leak. The leaked documents shown on screen are meant to show what got leaked from Roblox. Anything related to personal information will be censored. I will delete the file once we go over the files that are associated with this leak. I do not encourage you to leak data from other companies. This is meant to show what got stolen from Roblox. The leaked data includes a person's name and phone number, someone's ID. You need to use ID to use voice chat in Roblox, a document which shows how much Roblox games made, a mod menu that's easier to moderate the game, a Microsoft Excel document that shows news coverage from mainstream news outlets, and finally, another Microsoft Excel document, except it shows people a part of the Star Creators program, which are YouTubers that are sponsored by Roblox, and it shows how much money they made over time. However, there are other stuff listed in the file. However, most of them are about legal information related to potential court cases and events that already happened a while ago. If you really want to know no more information about the leaked documents, I'm sorry to tell you, but it's most stuff that 6 YouTubers, 7 if you count myself, actually talk about, since that's the most notable stuff related to the leak. If you really want to see the files yourself, go to the info tab at the right corner, then click on this video made by a worker, then click on the link in the video description. Well, anyways, the next story I want to talk about is the Podium 1 is announced and the reception is negative because it is an NFT gaming console. However, besides the association of the NFTs, critics pointed out that the logo looks like the GameCube logo. So they responded by making a new logo. They claim that they're making games for Web3, that it will be used for the console. But when a Twitter user asked which games are being made for the console, they did not respond, which led to people thinking that there are no games yet. There's a wallet button to show how much crypto you have, because, oh yes, I won't need to show a button to show how much money you have. It's not like no one asked for this. If you look at the website, it shows a dashboard pinned to metaverses and blockchain games. It will focus around buying in-game and out-of-game NFTs. It also has a leaderboard in the website. They made to let people pre-order the console before finishing the console itself. However, you cannot make a pre-order without using normal transaction. You must mint a Podium Pass by engaging in blockchain behavior. The people who created the Podium 1 says Web3 is the future of gaming. Podium wants to bridge the gap between NFTs games and normal games because they think NFT games are not as fun as the same way traditional games can be. According to the website, they came into 4K Ultra HD, 8K HDR ray tracing, 120 frames per second. However, when you look at the Q&A for the website, it says the processor specs are not confirmed yet, so there's a chance it will run slower than advertised. A few days ago, there was a local buyback program in Houston, and how it works is that people wait until a random person donates the gun to them, so the people associated with the buyback program will send these guns to the government in order to destroy the guns, meanwhile giving the people who donate the guns money. Although some buyback programs give the person who sends the guns groceries instead. Their intention is to reduce the gun crimes in America. A man in Houston decided to find a way to gain profit off of the buyback program by creating 62 ghost guns, which are essentially guns created by a 3D printer. He manages to get $3,000 in profits, but it is worth noting that none of them are actually functional. According to Fox 26, which spoke to the person who profited off of the buyback program, he says the goal is not for personal profit, but to send a message about spending $1 million in taxpayer money on something that has no evidence on affecting the crime in any way.
he has three major goals. Have cities pay for fair prices for guns, use private donations, and don't destroy historic guns. Recently, there's a lot of commotion in the game dev community because of Unity CEO and their decision to merge with Ironsoft. I'm going to talk about the interview first, and it's the quickest to talk about. In the interview, he talks about the pushback of monetization in gaming. And then after that, he said that high-end car manufacturers make their cars as best as they can be by adding fur and clay to the cars. After that, he says that most car manufacturers don't have the same mentality and do not make them as best as it can be. So in other words, he thinks that most developers do not make their games as best as they can be, according to the CEO. Then he insults a small portion that actually makes their games as best as they can be by saying that they're one of my favorite people to fight with. They're pure, brilliant, and beautiful idiots, in which the people accuse him of being greedy and prioritizing money over a decent game, despite the fact that he does not really make games to begin with. He did apologize for the incident, but people never forgive him. As for the Ironsoft controversy, they decided to merge with Ironsoft, a company known for in-app game monetization and by using advertisement in mobile games. However, because of their past, they deliver a negative stigma to themselves, because they used to make third-party installers. However, when you decide to download these installers, it bundles in with adware, which slows the computer down. However, Ironsoft announced that they're discontinuing Install Core. However, besides the layoffs, which I'm saving for a speedrun segment, there's nothing else to talk about when it comes to Unity for now. I was thinking about not covering it because of the clickbait surrounding it. And people might lump me in with the people who only talk about the Technoblade for monetary gain or clout, especially when they started watching his content after his death. However, death is no laughing matter. When someone dies, no one can come back. And so I might as well take stuff like this very seriously. But first I'm going to talk about Technoblade, since it led to the clickbait surrounding his death. Technoblade is a large YouTuber with 14.7 million subscribers. He makes Minecraft content on YouTube. He competed in a tournament hosted by Keemstar known as Minecraft Mondays. His participation in the tournament helped him grow his channel significantly. However, when it comes to all of the publicity over the years, unfortunately it came to an end 2 weeks ago when he died of cancer at a very young age. However, there are multiple responses related to his death. Some people are sad that Technoblade died. However, some people have been making 8 or more videos related to Technoblade. And to be honest, there's nothing wrong with saying your thoughts and prayers to a content creator you like. However, it does become a problem when you make multiple videos about someone's death, since people will think that they are only using the death of a person they like for monetary gain or views. Because of the overcoverage of Technoblade's death, it led to massive scrutiny among the YouTube community to those who make multiple videos of Technoblade over and over again. There's 3 major figures in the current controversies. Runlong, which is the owner of the infamous channel for impersonating the Dream SMP by making the channel known as SMP Official. Despite what the channel says, it's not actually owned by Dream himself, nor anyone associated with the SMP. Whenever you click on the channel social link to the channel, it leads you to his Twitter and Discord server. A Discord user known as Canarun asked him why he does not add a donation box to charity, in which Rungalong proceeds to say that he's going to donate a portion of that money to charity, and people can donate with or without the donation tab. Canaman asked him what about the quantity of the videos about Technoblade. Then Runalong responded with, I gave the more they can, the more I can give back. Then Kana calls him out by saying the more that gets into your pocket too. However, once the large creator starts to call him out, Runalong made a response video. However, the response boils down to calling his critics hypocrites because they make thousands of views by calling him out. That's what it takes an entire month until YouTube pays its creators. He says he'll screenshot his donation using the YouTube community tab, and they claim that he jumped up the hype train to call him out. Although some people think they're using charity as a means to deflect criticism. He also promised to, instead of donating a portion of the video's profit to charity, he will donate all of the video profit to charity. However, the main reason why people call Run Along out is not necessarily because of the profit of the money, but the profit in terms of views and subscribers by overcovering his death, which is the primary reason why the controversy somewhat began in the first place. And people are mad at people like Run Along and two other YouTubers I'm going to mention later. Although it's worth knowing that I don't really think Run Along is the worst offender during this controversy. In fact, I don't think his actions are really fueled with malicious intent. However, creating an entire channel solely to talk about someone's death is definitely going to raise some eyebrows. Sneeve is a popular YouTuber who is also known for making TechnoSpeed's death. However, unlike the person who's managing the quote-unquote official Dream SMP channel, and it's Owen, it's not necessarily being called out for using Technoblade's death as a means to profit. Well, if we call him out on it, more people are vocal about the fact that he donated to a cancer research center. However, he was later exposed for faking the donation by using an expect element and add the comma. Once confronted, he responded by admitting he faked the donation and stated that the community pressured him into donating $3,000. However, he did not have the money, so he donated $300 instead. He later said he will donate the rest of the money to charity. However, it is unknown if he really did donate to charity or not. The most infamous Technoblade clickbaiter is It's Owen. Unlike the previous two, he was relevant way before Technoblade's death. Therefore, it's inevitable that he's going to be the largest clickbaiter on his death, as he's already infamous for doing this since his inception of the channel. However, the video he made of Technoblade is the final nail in the coffin for his entire career. The video is titled Mr. B's Final Goodbye to Technoblade, except unlike the other two videos, it at least didn't bait and switch the audience to think they were watching one subject, but then talking about another entirely different subject. And if you're wondering what the video is about, instead, it's about Technoblade running away from Mr. Beast in a game of Minecraft. It also shows Mr. Beast's tweets in a fraction of a second. This led to his channel being taken down by YouTube. He tried to get it back, but YouTube refused to reinstate the channel. All of his alternate accounts are also terminated by YouTube. Before we end this episode of Plant News, we have one more news story for this segment called Speed Round, where we talk about one or more news stories in 1 minute or less. There's a project in London where they turn food products that are not normally found in ice cream brands and turn them into ice cream flavors, like ketchup, mayonnaise, baked beans, and oatmeal flavored ice cream that were available in New York. There was a poll I made where I asked people, do you think there will ever be a micro console that is not a failure and people will actually like? In which 4 people responded. So shout out to Domcast, R10C, Some Glasses, and Meowcat. In the poll, 50% of the people who responded think there'll be a micro console that people actually like, while 25 people claim that the most beloved micro console will have a mixed reception at best. Another 25% will think that no, all the micro consoles are doomed to fail and will be hated by the gaming community. All of the voters, excluding Meowcat, posted the reason why. So let's see the voters' reasons for why they choose the option in the poll. Domcast responded in the poll and says that there'll be a micro console that people actually like. And for her reason is simple. Her answer is 2 words: Steam Deck. Ortethi responded, no, micro consoles are doomed to fail and they'll be hated by the gaming community. As for the reason why Ortethi believed this, I do not think that micro consoles can coexist with mobile gaming, and I doubt people will buy a micro console to go for console, and absolutely none will buy it as their only console. And finally, the guy with glasses responded, the most beloved micro console will have a mixed reception at best.
And for his reason, it is because, hey, it's me. I'm your 29th biggest fan, and I think microconsoles try too hard to be big when the main selling point is that they're small. Take the Ouya or whatever it's called for example. It tried hard to be a big competitor, promising big games to come to the console, which never happened, and a demo for each of them, which were abandoned. Most microconsoles become mobile game machines, which won't be as much of a problem if they don't advertise themselves as console killers. Good day. Well anyways, the sky is falling, so goodbye.